Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Oh, pardon me, where are my manners? My name is... Okay, never mind. What good will knowing my name do to you? Oh well, let us just skip this part, because I don't want you to get involved in the horrible curse that was placed on me. Enough of chit-chat. Let me fast forward you to a time when I was just a normal teenager who was desperately looking for a job. My dad had a stroke 3 months ago, and he can barely move a limb by himself now. My mother, she was so shocked at this that she lost her mental stability. Me and my younger sister were the only ones there to look after them. The landlord comes by every day and threatens that he will throw us out of the house if we fail to pay the rent. I started to blame myself for everything, so I finally decided to get a job and help my family. My sister said she would take care of our parents at home and told me not to worry. I went from places to places in search of a good job, but I found none. Just at the moment I was about to give up, I remembered someone who could help me, so I called him. He gave me a location, an old restaurant to be specific. I told him about my problem and told him that I'd do anything that earns me some money, be that wiping floors or washing dishes or anything. He yelled at me, "No, why would someone like you do that? You clearly are talented. All those gold medals in math quiz and all those achievements, do you want them to go to waste?" I realized what he was trying to say, but what I didn't realize was that someone sinister was listening to our entire conversation right at that moment. Had I knew what's gonna come after that, I'd leave that place instantly. Back to the story. He then said, "Don't you worry about that. Leave that to me. I'll look for a good job for you." And then he left. As he was on his way out, a man dressed in an all-black outfit creeped in, and by the looks of it, he was very rich. He has a most expensive watch from back then worn over his left hand, and he sat in front of me. I was confused, so I asked him if I knew him from somewhere. He didn't say a word. He was just staring at my eyes for a few seconds, and then he said, "I can help you, but in return, you have to help me." I said, "Why would I help you? I don't even know you." And then he said, "I know, but can't we help each other as fellow citizens?" So I asked him what he wanted me to do. He replied, "Nothing, just a small delivery mission. I'll pay you $10,000 if you deliver it for me with 25% advance payment." I said, "What do you want me to deliver?" He bought out a black jar. "I know, right? You keep driving, I'm telling you what happened next." Okay, back to the story. I asked him what was in it. He said, "Nothing important. It's just some rare medicine from abroad." I knew that moment what he was talking about, and I said, "You mean drugs? You can count me out. I'm never doing a task as low as that." Suddenly, my phone started ringing. It was that cruel landlord. If I pick it up, he will swear at me and call me names for not paying the rent. The stranger then said, "See, it's the landlord. I know you need help, so I came to you, specifically you. I'll benefit little from this." I had no choice. I asked him where he wanted me to deliver the thing, and he said, "You don't have to worry about that. I'll mail you the location, when and where." I agreed. The next day, I went out to deliver the drug to the buyers. I went to the place, and I was shocked. They were 4 teenagers about my age. They welcomed me to their apartment very politely and asked me to sit and offered me with some water. Out of curiosity, I asked them why were they up to this. Surely they know it does no good to them. They were staring at me for a while, And then they said that this is the only way, the only thing that's keeping us alive. I didn't say a word after that. I left their place and promised myself I'd never do anything as low as that ever again. I had the money, and for the first time in a while I could sleep in peace. Came night and I went to the bathroom for a shower. As I was brushing my teeth, to my surprise, there was something standing behind me, behind the curtains. It was clearly there, moving. I gathered my courage and went there to investigate. I pulled off the curtain, and what I saw next was undoubtedly the worst thing I ever saw in my life. A man who had hollow 4 eyes was standing there. His face and body were rotten, and I could see flesh and skin shredding off from his body. I tried to scream, but I felt like several people were there grabbing my hands and legs and trying to choke me to death. Luckily, the noises I made from the struggle reached my sister, and she came upstairs to check up on me. And suddenly those things started to disappear. I felt relieved. My sister asked me what was it. I said it was nothing. I could not sleep that night. That incident really struck fear within me. The next morning I got up from the bed and opened the newspaper. I was shocked to the core. The same 4 boys to whom I delivered the drugs to committed suicide. They took poison and killed themselves, and apparently they were the children of the very renowned politicians of our city. I started to feel guilty all over again. Came night. It was raining everywhere. The window was open. I went to the window, but I was unable to close it. Even with all the might I had, I was unable. Suddenly I could hear a really low-pitched voice saying, "Don't close that. We are going to go out through that window after we kill you." I was frightened. I couldn't even look back. I was frozen on my place. I gathered all the courage I had and I decided to look back. And it was that horrible apparition again. But this time, there were 3 others with him. I asked them why were they after me? What have I done wrong? All of them laughed in a really disturbing tone and asked me, "Don't you know yourself what you've done? You killed us. You murdered us. You gave us poison. We will kill you too, but we will do it slowly. We will make sure you suffer every second of your short-lived life." I was shocked. It's those 4 teenagers I delivered the drugs to. Not drugs. Something even worse. I just stood there, and wasting no time, one of them threw fire on me. My clothes started burning. I was screaming, but nobody listened to my calls. When the fire reached my skin, I jumped out of the window. I was unconscious the moment I touched the ground. The next morning I woke up and I saw people surrounding me, and I couldn't feel my left arm. I was soon to realize that the fall caused me to break my left arm, and the pain was unbearable. I was taken to the hospital, and after a day or 2, the police came to me and arrested me for the murder of the 4 teenagers. For some reason, I wasn't feeling bad at this, because I thought I'd be relieved from their torture. But the case was completely opposite. Even inside the bars, they made my life a living hell. So one day I decided to break out of the jail, and now I'm here telling you this story as you're driving this cab. What is that silence? And what do you mean by a nice story? Are you trying to say that you don't believe in ghosts? Oh, you hear sirens in front of you. What is it? What? You see a dead body? Can you take a deeper look? Yes, that is my body you're looking at. I was killed in an open fire not 30 minutes ago. But don't be frightened from what you see. I won't harm you in any way. You might be wondering, why am I telling all this to you? It's just, my last wish was to tell someone about what actually happened. because no one would believe me when I was alive. Thank you for listening. Now I can finally ascend in peace. Farewell.